With 2 rounds of the Toyota Racing Series behind them, the drivers have moved north to Lake Taupo in the scenic centre of New Zealand's North Island. And a new style of track, wide and designed especially for single-seater racing cars, with good passing opportunities. Austria's Lucas Auer leads the points battle, but with 9 races left in the series, there's still plenty of contenders. This is round 3 of the Toyota Racing Series. Lake Taupo was created by 2 huge mega-volcanic eruptions, and there's still plenty of activity in the area. Mount Tongariro has been active with large gas and ash eruptions in November 2012 and was venting steam over the race weekend. Being a tourist town, the drivers took time out to enjoy the lake with some water sports on Thursday afternoon. Pippo Durrani and Felix Sorellas took to the air for a spectacular view from 15,000 feet with the crew from Taupo Tandem Skydiving. Back on the ground though, and it was down to business on track. With perfect weather forecasts, the scene was set for the midpoint of the 2013 Toyota Racing Series. In round 2 at the tight Timaru International Raceway, Lucas Auer qualified on pole for race 1. Made a great start to lead through the race to take the win from Nick Cassidy and Bruno Bonifacio. Race 2 saw the top 6 from race 1 start in reverse order, and this time it was Felix Sorellas who was able to lead from the start to finish despite a strong challenge from Damon Leach. Steinschutz went to the pits after his front wing was damaged. Cassidy passed Bonifacio to take 3rd, but Spike Goddard crashed, bringing out the safety car, and the race finished under yellow. On to race 3, and Alex Lynn managed to get the jump on Lucas Auer to take the win. It was a strong result for Lynn, who suffered a big crash at round 1. A frustrating 7th place for defending champion Nick Cassidy, but he did get a new lap record, 57.847. So to the points after 2 rounds, Lucas Auer just 6 points ahead of Felix Sorellas. Nick Cassidy still well in contention on 329 points. In 3rd, Durrani is 4th with Leach and Lynn tied for 5th on 282 points. Jan Mardenborough leads the rookie championship.
Yeah, good points, lead 6 points to my teammate, but it's still a very early stage in the championship, so we have to see.
This is a very different track.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more European style. It's quite hard on the tires, this track, so I think will be really interesting, the races here.
Taupo Racetrack is a Grade 2 FIA facility, which is 3.4 kilometres long, and the layout is one of the best equipped tracks in New Zealand with 32 permanent pit garages. A long, wide front straight turns left into the infield, where the track changes elevation down, then up, then down again before turning right and looping back on itself. This downhill corner is hard on brakes and crucial for speed through the next section, which leads to the tight left-hander. Then the track opens out into turn 9, which is a flat-out sweeping right-hander, which is one of the fastest in New Zealand. Then it's hard on the brakes into the hairpin left, which leads onto the back straight. Lots of overtaking in this corner. The straight is actually part of a drag strip, but at the end dives downhill and left through the corkscrew and onto the front straight and to the finish line. It's a truly challenging lap for these young drivers. Hot, fine conditions for Saturday's qualifying, but just as the tyres came up to optimum temperature, an incident brought out the red flag. Alex Lynn made a suspension adjustment. Nick Cassidy and Steinschutz were early pace setters in the resumed session. Lucas Auer could only manage 5th fastest and then spun going onto the front straight. Just as the session came to the close, Alex Lynn posted a 1 minute 23.915, 0.05 faster than Cassidy, and clinched pole for race 1. But drama for Damon Leach, who went into the gravel after the checkered flag and only made it back to the pit lane 3 minutes before the start of the second session. Most drivers put on new tyres for the 5-minute break between sessions. Lucas Auer trimmed out his rear wing to get some extra speed, and it worked with Auer and Lynn setting the early pace and trimming 0.1 off their best Q1 time. Then the times tumbled as Lynn again topped the chart, 123.372. Auer second, 0.3 back, and Cassidy third, just 0.03 behind Auer.
I think the team worked really hard and did a really good job to give me a great car today. Yeah, it was close in the first one, and then I did a really good job in the second one to peak the tyres. Yeah, I can't complain really. Done a hard job already, but now got the races to focus on.
It is my first top 3 qualifying. I think I'm about 2/10 off Alex in the first qualifying, so that's all right. And yeah, I'm already looking forward to the race this afternoon.
You like this track?
I like it a lot, yes. It's getting closer to the European tracks. It's a bit longer and a bit less tidy than the tracks we've been to so far. So yeah, I like it a lot.
First session we had quite a good run, upset a little bit by the red flag, and then session 2, a couple of things didn't really go away with the car, but we'll be right.
Coming up, 4 drivers announce their 2013 international race plans. Pippo gets some big air and all the action from race 1. Taupo offered the TRS drivers a chance to enjoy some sunshine and a little R&R.
Oh, yesterday we have been skiing in the water and wakeboarding, but I already jumped from a plane. I did a skydive, and craziest thing I've ever done in my life. And jumping into a Toyota Racing Series car it's easy after jumping from a plane.
But while the drivers enjoy the New Zealand sunshine, their future competitors are holed up in a European winter, unable to race.
Everybody come here thinking the same thing, you know, to get back in Europe prepared enough and do well there. So I really think it's a good learning to be down here and having this experience of 15 races, one behind the other.
And with the announcement this week that Alex Lynn, Pippo Derani, Felix Sorellas and Lucas Auer will all compete in the Euro F3 this year, the TRS Series has delivered a huge bonus to these drivers.
Yeah, I think there's a fair amount of us who are looking to compete into European Formula 3. So yeah, I think everybody's having a really tough time down here, like competition-wise, and I think we're all going to go back and be really fresh and hopefully get good results.
It will definitely be worth watching the TRS graduates this year in Formula 3 to see if their winter work and play here in New Zealand gives them the advantage they need against their rivals in Europe. So here's the grid for race 1 at Taupo. Alex Lynn in pole position, and alongside him, Nick Cassidy, the champion. Steinscher Horst and Bruno Bonifacio line up on the second row. Then it's Jan Mardenborough and Lucas Auer. Felix Sorellas and Damon Leach of Victory Racing line up on row 4. Then it's Pippo Derani and Tatiana Calderon. Dennis Olsen and Nicholas Latifi is next. Then it's Michael Scott and Andrew Tang, Akash Nandi, Spike Goddard, and at the back, Tanat Satyan Tarakul. Alex Lynn in pole position on the right-hand side. Nick Cassidy, his teammate, to the left. Away they go. Good start from Cassidy. He comes alongside Alex Lynn immediately. In fact, he's got ahead of him. Steinscher Horst got a good start too. But it's Alex Lynn who just holds his line into turn 1. And Horst already challenging Cassidy. What a start from the top 3. Into turn 3 they go, but it is Alex Lynn from Nick Cassidy. Horst is in 3rd place. Good start by him too. Bonifacio is 4th. It looks as though Nicholas Latifi has got ahead of Nicholas Auer in the first few corners. But Alex Lynn under immense pressure there from the pole. Good start from Cassidy, and already he's putting pressure on the Brit. And there's no question that Nick Cassidy loves this circuit here at Taupo. And oh, very wide. Another Kiwi not liking it so much as number 53. That's Michael Scott, bouncing over the curbs, almost in the air though. The runner-up in the Formula 4 Championship here in New Zealand, and a rookie here to this series. Very close indeed. Oh, there's a touch there. Oh, big time. And that's Sorellas and Lucas Auer. Sorellas getting ahead of Auer. Auer coming alongside him down the back straight now. They're side by side as they head towards the S's. Auer gets past, Sorellas brakes, and oh, flat spots his tyres there, goes over the grass and off track. And he may have got a puncture as well from that incident with Lucas Auer. In fact, yes, he is coming into the pits, so it's game over. And that was the championship contenders, Lucas Auer and Felix Sorellas. So Lucas Auer has won that battle early on here in race 1 at Taupo, as Alex Lynn trying to get into contention. Sorellas, yes, there is definitely a puncture to that rear left of Sorellas, and also he flat spotted the front right here under braking as well. And it looks as though Lucas Auer may well have got away with that. But back at the front, it's still a battle between Lynn and Cassidy as we go on board with the current champion from New Zealand. Cassidy yet to win a race this year. but he's just been so consistent. And he knows here in second place, if he can keep that position, it'll be another good result. But he's under immense pressure from Stijn Schuthorst of the Netherlands in third place, who's lost a little bit of ground in this last lap as they head towards 10 again. High and wide goes Lynn. Cassidy follows him through, back through the gearbox, down the long straight, one of the longest straights in New Zealand racing this. It's also a drag strip. And it's a long way down to the braking point coming up now, and as they flick left here, this is where Sorella's got it wrong as we go on board with Stijn Schuthorst as he gets it wrong, flat spotting that left front. And he won't want to do that too many times, but he's trying not to lose ground with the leaders. And you can see as he crosses the line now, he's lost a couple more car lengths in that last lap as Lynn and Cassidy stretching their legs at turn 1 at Taupo. Great start to this race. On board now with Alex Lynn. I spoke to him earlier in the weekend, and since that win at Timaru, he's really relaxed because he didn't get the start he wanted at Tauranga with that big crash. Massive G-force involved in that. But since then, he and the team, and Schuthorst locks up again with Bonifacio putting him under pressure in the number 5. But Lynn, definitely a much more comfortable driver. He's done all the circuits, or most of them, here in 2011. And that win has taken the monkey off his back. And he goes for back-to-back wins here at Taupo, having won the feature race at Timaru. Good start from Jan Mardenborough as well, the young Brit from Wales, ahead of Lucas Auer at the moment. While Bonifacio in 4th place, we're looking at now, trying to put some pressure. Oh, Mardenborough locks it up, going into 10 for a moment. He'll have lost a little bit of ground to the Austrian, but the field's spreading out nicely now. And according to most of the drivers I spoke to over the weekend, they really like this Taupo circuit. Hard under brakes again, Schuthorst locking up that front left, and he won't want to do that too many times. And Bonifacio's right there ready to pounce as they complete another lap. But if anything, Schuthorst is losing ground on the leaders as they cross the line again. A little further back, good battle here also between the Asians. Andrew Tang of Singapore, Tan out of Thailand. Wheel to wheel for a moment there. And on board now with number 23 Mardenborough as he chases Bonifacio. Flat out in 4th gear through the kink and then down to turn 10 again to 2nd gear. Schuthorst locking up again as they go into 10. And Lucas Auer getting ever closer to Mardenborough of Wales, and it's going to be close as they head down the back straight, and this is where Lucas Auer is good. Here we are, on board now with Lucas Auer. He jigs to the inside again now, Mardenborough, and passes him with ease. Here's the onboard of Mardenborough. Well, he grew up doing video games, and that was like a video game for a moment there, and that was made to look very easy by Lucas Auer. He got past nicely there, so Lucas Auer chasing that championship lead and gets another place, and now goes in pursuit of Bonifacio in 4th. So Lucas Auer using the drive out of 10 very effectively indeed to get past Jan Mardenborough. First time we've seen Tatiana Calderon in this race. She's right up there too, her best performance so far. It's also a good performance by Jan Mardenborough compared to the number 11 Lucas Auer in terms of single-seater experience. Jan Mardenborough done GTs and of course famous for winning that video competition. But really, compared to Lucas Auer in single-seaters, who's got a lot more time in karts and in these sorts of cars in both Formula 3 and Formula Renault, and of course the JK Racing Series in Asia. Back on board with Lucas. Down towards 10, back down to 2nd gear. Oh, and he lost a bit of ground there and almost goes off track. It's so easy to miss the braking marker there. It's very fast entry. And it's cambered. And it gives you a sense, oh, as Michael Scott goes wide again, almost gets airborne again, and this time he is off track. And this could be terminal for the Kiwi. And sure enough, yeah, bouncing over there, but I don't think he's going anywhere after that. Pippo Durrani goes off at 10 as well, into the scoria, which is what the gravel traps are made of here, volcanic scoria, which really does keep the cars in the gravel trap, and it's very hard to get out of. Luckily, Pippo gets away with it. Meanwhile, this battle between Mardenborough and Lucas Auer continues, and Mardenborough's got ahead of him again. So Lucas Auer will have to force his way past the Welshman one more time. Good battle, and Jan Mardenborough not being intimidated by the championship contender Lucas Auer. Remember, Mardenborough, the rookie here in New Zealand, or one of them, and right now not showing any signs of being intimidated by the Austrian. Been a tough start, obviously, at Invercargill, and I think this Taupo circuit suits a lot of the Europeans a little bit more. It's more flowing with that long straight. As we go back on board with the man from Invercargill, Damon Leach. He's just behind this battle between Auer and Mardenborough. He too is under pressure, though, from Tatiana Calderon from Colombia. So there's some distinct battles. There's a lock up there from Mardenborough. He's lost some ground at 10, and that surely will give Lucas Auer another chance as they go on the back straight. Oh, Damon Leach goes wide as well at turn 10, and Tatiana didn't waste any time. She went straight through the E-Tech driver, and Calderon picks up a place ahead of Leach, and now goes in pursuit of this battle between Lucas Auer, who does get past Mardenborough again at the end of the straight. So that's Lucas Auer's signature pass there before the S's as they go and complete another lap here at Taupo, race 1. And Tatiana Calderon is having an excellent race. This is her best performance by far so far. The rookie from Colombia, just 19 years of age, although she's got a lot of experience from racing in the European Formula 3 Championship and, of course, the Mazda Series in the USA, where she was, in fact, the first female ever to score a podium in that USA Mazda Series. And she could be the first here in New Zealand as well, as she keeps going on like this. And that's a moment for Latifi, number 18, another man succumbing to the famous turn 10. And he too gathers it all together, although a lot of dirt gathered as well, but he's back on track. Back with the leaders. This is the battle for second and third as we go on board with the Dutchman, the DHL-sponsored Dutchman, Stein Schuthorst, out of the last corner. And he's got a little closer to Cassidy now, but they both lost sight of Alex Lynn, who is in the distance, quite literally. This has been the perfect race so far from the number 36. There he is, just going through turn 3. And Cassidy has got his work to do to hold off the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman, quite literally. He has been a revelation of all the rookies here. So little experience in single-seaters compared to the likes of someone like Cassidy. Cassidy's put on another good showing here to take second place as he heads down for the last lap. But this race has all been about this man, Alex Lynn. He now leads by over 4.5 seconds as he comes down to the back straight for the last time. This has been a brilliant performance by the man who will now take back-to-back victories and put himself right in contention for the overall title in 2013. He won the feature race at Timaru, and he's now going to win race 1 here at Taupo. A brilliant run by number 36, Alex Lynn, to take victory. So the results of race 1, and it's a clean sweep for M2. A 1-2-3 as Alex Lynn takes the win. Nick Cassidy is second. Stein Schuthorst is in third position. Then it's Bruno Bonifacio of Brazil. Fifth is Lucas Auer. Jan Mardenborough is in sixth. Then it's Damon Leach, Tatiana Calderon, Dennis Olsen 9th, Akash Nandi in the top 10, then Andrew Tang, Spike Goddard, Nicholas Latifi in 13th position, Tanat 14th for Thailand, Michael Scott 15th for New Zealand, then Felix Sorellas in 16th place. Pippo Durrani did not finish.
We had a great race for the team to finish 1, 2, 3 in the race, so can't complain so far.
Nick got off the line very well, but you nailed it at the first corner.
No, I think Nick probably got a marginally better start, but I still had that ever-important inside line. I just tried to control the race from there.
We've been working really hard all weekend, from Thursday first practice onwards. Of course, learning the track in the beginning, and then start working on the setup, for all tires, new tires, race, everything. And it has worked out pretty good so far.
Alex has been very fast this weekend, Stein as well. And, yesterday I think we were looking quite good. Today, probably not as strong. So we'll look over it overnight and come out strong tomorrow.
Equal second in the championship, though.
Yeah, but, there's a long way to go. We'll just keep putting our heads down and focus on the individual races and see where we end up.
Coming up, meet the Asian drivers joining TRS on their way to Europe. And race to action. Someone's in trouble at turn 1. The Toyota Racing Series has become a natural destination for drivers from Asia who are stepping up to the European racing scene. In 2013, we've seen the return of Tanat Satyantarakool to the series.
I think this track is a very technical track and also longer and wider than compared to Timaru and Invercargill track. Right now, this year, I think the level of the competition is more higher than last year.
Joining Tanat at E-Tech is one of our youngest competitors from Malaysia, Akash Neil Nandi.
Well, I came here this year to get myself prepared for the next series that I'm doing that I need to win the championship for, which is Formula Masters. So and the drivers here are all Formula 3 drivers, most of them, and they are really competitive. So if I can keep up with them, I should be able to be as quick as I can be in the Formula Masters.
Singapore hosts a Formula 1 GP, so no surprise to find a young karter from the island nation here in what he hopes to be his stepping stone to racing glory.
Hi, I'm Andrew Tang. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Singapore. I've mostly been karting for the last 2 years in Europe, and actually this is my first ever car race. So it's a good experience here and I'm learning a lot. It's been really tough driving a car. And all the drivers here are really good, so it makes it even harder. But I've been learning a lot, and the whole point of us coming here in the first place was to learn as much as we can, because all testing in Europe has stopped because of the winter. But I've been learning a lot, and it's a really good series.
And we haven't seen many Aussies in the series, but Spike Goddard makes his debut after a season in Britain, racing in the national Formula 3 class.
I think the hardest thing about the Toyota car is just bringing yourself back a little, because the cars have less downforce. Ultimately, they have a bit less grip, and they'll move around a bit more. So it's just coming back a bit and just working with that.
Well, you found the limits on the grip a few times.
Definitely, a few too many.
The grid then for race 2 in reverse sees Bruno Bonifacio in pole position for Giles Motorsport ahead of Stein Schehorst of M2. Then it's Cassidy and Lynn. Behind them, Lucas Auer, the championship leader, and Jan Mardenborough. Damon Leach and Tatiana Calderon of E-Tech line up on the 4th row. Then it's Dennis Olsen and Akash Nandi. Andrew Tang of Singapore and Spike Goddard of Australia are on row 6. Latifi and Tanat are on row 7. Then it's Michael Scott and Felix Sorellis. And bringing up the rear, it's Pippo Durrani of Giles Motorsport. Race 2 then from Taupo with the reverse grid. Bruno Bonifacio will start pole. It looks as though Jan Mardenborough is going to have to start from the pit lane. They couldn't get him started, and he had been on the 4th row, but a great start from Stein Schehorst, and he takes the lead for a moment. But will Bonifacio come back? And he does into turn 1. Alex Lynn dives in just behind Auer, and he gets spun round. And Alex Lynn looked as though he was tapped there by Damon Leach, and also Latifi in trouble. He loses his front wing. There's all sorts of drama at the start of race 2 here at Taupo. Felix Sorellis passing Durrani, having started right at the back, the pair of them. But the real drama, without a doubt, is that Alex Lynn, winner of the last 2 races, has been spun round at the start of race 2. And that plays beautifully into the hands of Lucas Auer. Bonifacio, though, leads from Schehorst, who tried desperately to get past him at the start and wasn't able to pull it off. Alex Tanner's another man who didn't get to start, just in the background there, parked up. But Schehorst settling then for 2nd place and going in pursuit of Bonifacio, who's yet to win a race, and locking up into 10. Bonifacio, the Brazilian, and another lock up there for Calderon. Turn 10 has caught out a lot as we go on board with Dennis Olsen. He too is under pressure as they head down the back straight, the leaders. Good start from Bonifacio. He really needs this win. Yet to have a win in the TRS series, having raced here last year. He's scored a podium but never won a race, and this is a good opportunity, and it's also likewise a good opportunity for the Dutchman Stein Schehorst, who's in 2nd place and looking very strong at the moment as they cross the line again and go into turn 1. Nicholas Latifi in the number 18 Giles Motorsport with that broken wing coming in to get a new nose cone, I'm sure. Back to the action at the front, and it's frantic for sure. Brave driving from Bonifacio at the start to hold that position, and now stretching his legs a little. Chose to use news tyres, knowing that he'd get that possible advantage here, and he's using it. Schehorst likewise will try to go with him. Out of 8 and down towards 9. My favourite part of the circuit, because it's a blind apex this, and very fast indeed. Onto that straight, which has a slight kick in it here, before hard braking and down to 2nd gear for turn 10. Smoothly done. Cassidy going well in 3rd place. onto the back straight, and it's the drag race to the S's, led by Bonifacio. Schuthorst in second, then Cassidy, a little further back, and then you can see Lucas Auer, and he's now coming under pressure from Tatiana Calderon of Colombia, and this is a great run again by the young 19-year-old Colombian. She's right there, tucked behind Lucas Auer. And coming out of the pits is, by the looks of things, Felix Sorellas and number 18, Nicholas Latifi. But look at this, here we go, turn one. Calderon makes a move, and she almost gets side by side, but somehow Lucas Auer holds on through three. And he's going to have to be careful now, because Calderon is definitely in the mood. And this would be a big scalp for her, for sure. Remember, Lucas Auer's led the championship, and he's in contention to win it overall. Calderon just looking for her first podium here in the Toyota Racing Series. Her father did the two-seater, as I did, which was a real thrill. So she's out to impress Dad, for sure, and that was an impressive manoeuvre. Through 9. That was nice and smooth as well. Down towards 10. Lost a little bit of time there. She's still very much in touch with Lucas Auer. Her sister races, her elder sister races in Colombia, and she's got lots of experience from racing Formula 3 in Europe. And both Lucas Auer and Tatiana Calderon will be racing in Europe in Formula 3 this summer in Europe, as we go back on board with Damon Leach. Oh, and he misses the corner at 11, just got it wrong, cuts across the grass to complete the lap, but that'll lost him a lot of ground, I'm sure. A little two-post haste there, perhaps. And the back of the field just as strong in terms of battles anyway. Oh, and a lock up there for Michael Scott, the Kiwi, under pressure from Spike Goddard. First time we've seen Goddard, the Australian. Alex Lynn also, having spun round at the start, is trying to side his way through this pack, and it'll be interesting to see how far Lynn can get up. There's points all the way down in the Toyota Racing Series, so it's important that Alex Lynn keeps going. And of course, having had those back-to-back wins, he was in contention for the overall championship lead, and he'll need these points now. Felix Sorellas is having a bad weekend, but Lucas Auer has been consistent, and at the moment the man of the hour is Lucas, and he is proving to be the most consistent of the weekend so far. Damon Leach under pressure from number 44, Dennis Olsen. Haven't mentioned Olsen too much this weekend. The young Norwegian kart champion from Germany, taking on a Southlander kart champion in Damon Leach. Leach staying just ahead of him at the moment, but it's going to be close between these two as they start another lap. And now Olsen winding his way for a look at turn one, and that was textbook. Excellent overtake by Olsen. Will he pull it off out of 2? And yes, he does. Excellent racing by Dennis Olsen to overtake Damon Leach as we go back for the other Kiwi, Nick Cassidy. Cassidy still holding on and staying ahead of Lucas Auer, but Lucas Auer under pressure from Tatiana Calderon. Out of 9 with Lucas Auer. Now, can he put some pressure on Nick Cassidy? He certainly wants that scalp, because at the moment it's Lucas Auer and Cassidy who are scoring the most consistently overall. Onto the back straight, and this is where Lucas Auer is strong. And he's winding himself up by the looks of things to have a go at Nick Cassidy. Cassidy will have to defend as they go down the long straight. And he jinks to the outside, surely not. Can he make it round there? And yes, he does. Oh, that was world class by Lucas Auer to pass Cassidy. And, well, Cassidy caught standing. Here's another look at it. He jinks to the outside and just somehow powers by and then slingshots into the left-hander. And that was quite brilliant by Lucas Auer. And if anybody was unsure as to his intention for the overall championship, you just got a graphic display of what Lucas Auer's all about. And Cassidy will try and recover now with Calderon just behind. What a fascinating race too this is. We had some good test sessions at the beginning of the weekend. Alex Lynn topped most of those. Lucas Auer's there or thereabouts, and that's what's Cassidy. Cassidy's been there, pretty much the most consistent man so far, along with Lucas Auer. And here they are doing battle again here at Taupo. Just wonder now if Calderon can stay with them. She almost got past Lucas Auer earlier on. Now she's chasing Cassidy. Onto the back straight again. On board with Tatiana Calderon. She's losing little ground here on the back straight in top speed, it looks like. And Lucas Auer trying to pull away as time running down now in the closing stages of this one, as Bonifacio continues to lead. But he's way off into the distance now. I think those new tyres definitely helping him and Shorthorst. But the battle's still on for third place, and Lucas Auer is in that position right now. And Cassidy running out of laps in order to get past Lucas Auer, but he might just make one more attempt as they go through turn 3 and into 4. Tight through there. We saw a lot of people going off in qualifying into that tight right-hander there. Very easy to get wrong. And then it opens up into 4th gear and then down to 2nd gear here for this long left-hander. And then winding up through 8, the little kink here, and into the blind apex 9. Very fast through here. Here come the leaders, though, and what a race it's been for Bruno Bonifacio. 3rd in the Formula Abarth Euro Series in 2012, 4 wins and 3 pole positions, but yet to win in the Toyota Racing Series. But that is about to come to an end. Shorthorst has kept him honest throughout, but Bruno Bonifacio comes out of the last corner, and Bruno, the boy from Brazil, blitzes race 2 at Taupo. An excellent win by him. Shorthorst takes 2nd place. Coming across the line now in 3rd, Lucas Auer will take the podium again to maintain his championship lead. Nick Cassidy follows him home. So the results of race 2, Bruno Bonifacio finally gets his first win in the series for Giles Motorsport. Stein Shorthorst is 2nd for M2, and Lucas Auer another valuable podium for the Austrian for Giles in 3rd. Nick Cassidy keeps the pressure on in 4th place. Tatiana Calderon gets her best finish ever in the series for E-Tech Motorsport, and likewise her teammate Akash Nandi of Malaysia in 6th. Damon Leach is 7th, Alex Lynn 8th, Felix Sorellas in 9th position. Dennis Olsen finishes 10th after a 10-second time penalty for a false start. Then it's Spike Goddard of Australia, Jan Mardenborough in 12th, Tanat Satyantarakul in 13th, Michael Scott of New Zealand in 14th, Pippo Durrani finishes 15th, Nicholas Latifi in 16th, and Andrew Tang did not finish for E-Tech.
Yeah, I had a good start. The first laps were quite difficult. After I catch Nick and I had a good pass on him, then the second guy was too far away, so I kept my 3rd position and I was quite happy.
How were the tyres holding up?
Yeah, it's really difficult here with the tyres. I had the tyres from yesterday on, so they were quite old and it was quite difficult to handle them. Should be better for the next race.
Well, Stein, you really are Mr. Consistency, but a bit of support from home this morning.
Yeah, my parents flew in this morning. They're here now, so they chose the right race to watch because it's my best result so far. Yeah, so that's good.
Well, Bruno, our 5th different race winner. You made no mistakes there.
Yeah, it was very difficult not to make mistakes because towards the end of the race we had less tires, let's say less grip, because this track is very aggressive on tires. Yeah, it was a tough race.
Coming up, the race in honour of New Zealand's only Formula 1 champion. It's the Denny Hulme Memorial. So the grid for the Denny Hulme Trophy, the feature race, sees Alex Lynn in pole position and Lucas Auer, his arch rival, alongside him. Then it's Nick Cassidy and Stein Shorthorst, and Shorthorst has had a fantastic weekend for M2. He lines up in 4th. Bruno Bonifacio is on the 3rd row. Alongside him, his fellow South American, Pippo Durrani. Then it's Damon Leach and Jan Mardenborough. Felix Sorellas lines up on the 5th row. Alongside him is Tatiana Calderon, who also is having her best weekend for E-Tech. Nicholas Latifi of Canada is on row 6. Then it's Dennis Olsen. Andrew Tang lines up alongside Michael Scott of New Zealand. And then it's Satyan Tadakul of Thailand and Akash Nandi of Malaysia. And at the back, Spike Goddard of Australia. It's the 20-lap Denny Hulme feature race here at Taupo. Alex Lynn in pole position, Lucas Auer alongside. Away they go. Stein Shadors gets a great start. And already alongside Cassidy, and Auer bounces over his tyre and somehow misses Bonifacio as well, and everybody else. But Lucas Auer, the championship leader, is already at the back of the feature race. What a start. Here we go again. And Shadors already passed Cassidy, and Auer closing him down. Racing incident, no one to blame. But really, Lucas Auer getting airborne for a moment, and somehow, how did he miss Bonifacio number 5? But he did, and somehow kept it on. And he's at the back now as Alex Lynn and Cassidy continue to lead at the front. Bonifacio is in 3rd place. And everybody through. Number 44 is Dennis Olsen towards the back as they head out of 10 and down the back straight. But Alex Lynn already building a lead here in the feature race. Won a race already this weekend, Alex Lynn, and starting to put himself into contention. And with Lucas Auer at the back, it's going to help his course. All going on the grass there, Latifi of Canada in the number 18, but he recovers. Out of the last corner. Whoa, not recovering at all. That's Spike Goddard going straight on at the last corner and into the volcanic gravel track. And that brings out the safety car. On board with Pippo Durrani, number 6 through 9. And in comes Lucas Auer. Very disappointed, I'm sure, Lucas Auer. And back with Spike Goddard. Here's what happened to him. Coming out of the last corner, nobody else to blame. He just locked up, just a little too fast, and that's inexperience by the Australian. And Escoria capturing him nicely, but that brings out the safety car, and away we go again. And the field now, line astern behind Alex Lynn, and if Nick Cassidy's going to pass him, it's going to be on this lap or in the next couple, because Lynn was pulling away. And likewise, those trying to make up some points here have this opportunity with the field bunched up here in the feature race at Taupo. We're over the halfway point now in the 2013 Toyota Racing Series, and it's hotting up nicely. And if Lynn can win this race, he'll put himself right back into contention with 4th overall, and right there with Felix Arelis, and Latifi goes wide again onto the grass. That's a good shot now of the 36, but Cassidy's not letting him go. And Shadors still going strong here. Very tight field, and right at the back, Lucas Auer. Now we'll keep an eye on Lucas because he needs to try and side his way through. Points so important now to Lucas, given that he had that incident at the beginning of the race, had the safety car, got back out, so was able to get back out while the safety car was in, and he's right at the back of the field now. But surely now, given his pace, will start to make his way through and score points. Alex Lynn again stretching his legs down the back straight. Cassidy can't stay with him. Bonifacio holding off Shadors. The Dutchman in 4th position, just ahead of Pippo Durrani of Brazil. Durrani trying to recover from what has been a tough weekend for him and get some good points on the board. Damon Leach just behind him as they head into turn 1, down through the gearbox. 2nd gear through here, holding it tight towards 2. And then opening it up again towards turn 4. On board now with Stein Shadors. The Dutchman approaching turn 4. Hard on the anchors now. A little bit of oversteer into 2nd gear here. A lot of drivers going off into the gravel there, but not this time. Opening it up to 4th gear and then down to 2nd for the left-hander. Everyone line astern here. Very tight race indeed as we go on board with Bonifacio. Bruno winning that last race, and he was delighted with that. That will have given him a lot of confidence, and more importantly, a lot of points to go back into contention. And a good finish here could keep him in the top 6. But the revelation has to have been Stein Shadors this weekend. He may not have won races, but he's been there or thereabouts, and out goes the number 29. That's Akash Nandi. And let's have a look at what happened to the Malaysian. Whoa, just gets it wrong into 9. And that is why 9 is such an important corner, because if you do get it wrong, there's no coming back, and the Malaysian succumbs after a great run in race 2. Good battle between Dennis Olsen and Andrew Tang, 44 and 22, as Jan Mardenborough locks up in this battle. Calderon just behind him. There is Dennis Olsen and Andrew Tang. So a six-way battle this, led by Mardenborough of Wales. Then Tatiana Calderon, who really has come of age, the 19-year-old this weekend. She started to shine, no doubt about it. And she's not that far away from a podium. She had a great run last time out in race 2 against Lucas Auer. She almost got past the Austrian, didn't quite pull it off. And now is pushing Jan Mardenborough very hard indeed. Bonifacio still under pressure from the Dutchman, Schuthorst. And there's the number 3, Damon Leach of New Zealand. Just 3 New Zealanders in the championship this year, taking on the internationals. And they're all holding their own. And this is a good battle in the midfield. Leach tucked underneath Pippo Durrani, the number 6. And Durrani already a winner. Leach yet to win this season. As we go on board with the Brazilian, the 19-year-old for Giles Motorsport. Already got Formula 3 experience and headed to Fortec this summer. Great opportunity for him in the European Championship. But now Damon Leach, who's kept his sponsors, Zero Fees and Post Haste. And we were talking last night about that. Any driver, any young driver able to keep his sponsors long-term, as Damon has, it's a sign of the overall package being just right. Because it's one thing to get a sponsor, it's another to keep one, and Damon's done just that. And he's a super guy to work with, and I think he's just happy to be out there taking on the very best, and they really are some of the best in the world, these single-seater drivers, on their way towards Formula 1. Just ask Mitch Evans, heading towards GP2, who came through this scene, the New Zealander, and is on very much on course for Formula 1, as all of these drivers hope to be. Back on board with Leach. And at the back of the circuit, he was good at here, very strong into here. And he's looking to get past Durrani, who goes wide at 10. And he looks up the inside, does the Kiwi. Can't quite do it, Durrani holds on. But a definite mistake by the Brazilian there at turn 10. Meanwhile, Mardenborough locks up again and loses some time. And this time, Andrew Tang from Singapore almost overtakes him. But Mardenborough will hold on, but for how long? Here comes the number 22 down the back straight. Is he in a position to do it? Mardenborough defends his position as they come into the breaking point. And the Welshman just holds on. Does he? Yes! And in fact, he knocks the number 22, Andrew Tang, out and onto the grass. So Mardenborough holding on there. Here's another look at it. Well, he turns in, does Tang, and he just can't turn any further because Mardenborough was right where he needed to be. So he had to take to the grass, but luckily both of them survived. Good battle between the pair of them, though. And Durrani still under pressure from Leach. And now the pair of them have caught up to Schuthorst. Side by side, Leach makes his move on Durrani. Does he make it stick? Not quite. Durrani holds on into the left-hander. Surely Leach will try again. What a cracking battle this is. Into 8 and all. Leach almost loses it, but somehow just grabs it at the last moment. Through 9, regains his composure. This is great driving by the Kiwi in the closing stages of the feature race. Can he get past Durrani? And if either of these two mess up, Felix Sorellas, former championship leader, but has had a rotten weekend, he's ready to get past as well. Latifi just behind him. It's holding up nicely in the closing stages. Here comes Durrani down that back straight. Such an important part of this Taupo circuit into here. But everybody smoothly through. Bonifacio still holding off Schuthorst. What a weekend it's been for the young Dutchman. Excellent performance. His parents here this weekend, so proud. Heard about the series through Hannes van Asseldonk and has been following his career as it went on to bigger and better after the Toyota Racing Series. Decided to give it a go himself. Still very, very junior is Schuthorst. Certainly compared to a lot of the other Formula 3 drivers out here. And Damon Leach now winding himself up for one more chance at Durrani. Couldn't pull it off last time. He came very close indeed into this left-hander. And then almost lost it through 8. Nice and smooth this time, though. Into 9 they go. Back through the gearbox. And Again, Leach is getting close. He's so strong through here. He gets good drive out of 9 and gets very close at 10. This is the closest he's been. Durrani makes a slight mistake but holds on. Now down the back straight. Good drive from Leach. Can he do it this time? This is great driving from the man from Invercargill. He's had a classic run to this position in this series, having come through karts, then Formula Ford. 8th overall in 2011, got 3rd overall last year. And is battling to try and do the same again, but he just can't get past Durrani, who, to be fair, Pippo Durrani having a good race himself. Steinschuttor still trying to get past Bonifacio. He too having his own problems with the South American from Brazil. One more chance then, perhaps, for Damon Leach. He's right there with him. They're glued together. See for yourself now. Nothing in it. Up towards 5 and 6. Meanwhile, Felix Sorellis looking very strong in the closing stages too, in the number 4. There he is, from Puerto Rico. Hasn't had the best of weekends, having led the championship coming in. He and Lucas Auer were going neck and neck at one point, but he's lost ground. And every point now is crucial. That's what they all learn in this series, as Sorellis has a look up the inside of Damon Leach, but can't quite do it. Leach makes a mistake, and this is an opportunity for Sorellis. Father was a world champion in power boats, and they're doing some power boats here in Taupo this weekend. Sorellis having a look at the boats on Saturday night before the race to get some inspiration, and he's getting it. But can't get his way and can't power his way past Damon Leach right now as they come on to the main straighting. This is the last lap of the Denny Hulme Trophy here at Taupo, and it's Alex Lynn who leads by over 3.5 seconds over Nick Cassidy, his fellow teammate from M2 competition, and what a weekend it's been for M2. And this is going to be a superb result. Lynn will take his 2nd win of the weekend, having spun round in race 2. He's recovered well. Down the back straight comes Alex Lynn. And there's the gap between himself and Nick Cassidy. Cassidy settling for 2nd place, but that consistency will pay off for Cassidy, because he'll now lead the championship, and Lynn will move into 4th place. But what a weekend at Taupo it's turned out for M2, as M2 gets a 1-2 here in race 3, as Lynn crosses the line for his 2nd win of the day. Cassidy takes 2nd place, and in 3rd, Bruno Bonifacio for Giles Motorsport takes another podium. 4th place goes to Steinschuttor of M2 competition, and Pippo Durrani comes across the line in 5th place. But Alex Lynn, what a weekend it's turned out for the young 19-year-old. A check on the results then. Lynn with the win for M2. His teammate Nick Cassidy takes the championship lead with that 2nd place. 3rd is Bruno Bonifacio, then 4th is Steinschuttor. In 5th place, Pippo Durrani came across the line in 5th, but was penalised when he passed under a yellow and was given 50 seconds. That means that Damon Leach moves up to 5th place. And behind him is Felix Sorellis in 6th. Nicholas Latifi is 7th. Dennis Olsen 8th. Andrew Tang 9th. Michael Scott 10th. Tanat Satyan Terakul in 11th place. Jan Mardenborough and Tatiana Calderon were given a 10-second penalty for a false start, and that moves them down to 12th and 13th. Pippo Durrani finishes in the end in 14th position after that 50-second penalty. Then it's Akash Nandi, the rookie, Lucas Auer, and Spike Goddard did not finish after going off at the last turn.
Yeah, no, it was a really good weekend points-wise, and you know, winning a trophy like this doesn't come along very often. So, no, I'm really thrilled, because it's a lovely trophy and it's a lovely race to win, and you know, what a beautiful weekend.
It's sort of testimony to your up and down season, isn't it? You're still 4th.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I've scored a lot of points and I've lost a lot of points. I can't complain really, but if we keep on the way we're going, we should be there by the end of the year.
So with 3 rounds gone, the points look like this. Nick Cassidy may not be winning, but he's leading the championship now by 517 points. He's 6 points now ahead of Lucas Auer for Giles Motorsport. Then it's Felix Sorellis, also of Giles, with 477. And 6 behind him on 471 is Alex Lynn, who is coming on fast. Steinschuttor is in 5th position for M2 with 451. Then on 4:48, it's Bruno Bonifacio in 6th. Damon Leach is 7th. Pippo Durrani is 8th. Nicholas Latifi is in the top 10 in 9th position for Giles with 3:16. And just a couple of points behind him, it's Jan Mardenborough in 10th position. Tatiana Calderon is 11th, Akash Nandi 12th, Tanat Satyam Tarakul is in 13th place for Thailand, Dennis Olsen of Norway is 14th, Michael Scott is in 15th position ahead of Andrew Tang, Spike Goddard 17th, Ryan Cullen no longer part of the championship.
Well, Nick Cassidy, we're over the halfway stage and you're in the lead of the championship.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising, but you know, we've been quite consistent with our results, not with our qualifying, and this weekend we had good qualifying results and it shows.
Well, you don't have to win races to lead championships, do you?
No, exactly, but 2 big races coming up and I'm really keen to win them.
Now the series follows the Waikato River to Hampton Downs for the historic New Zealand Motor Cup. With its changes in elevation and big wide corners, this will be another track that favours the brave. Nick Cassidy has clawed his way back into the lead, but there will be plenty of competition from the Europeans.